2 videos in 2 days. Hi, I'm Bengal from Wrestle Central, and today I'm just going to be recapping SummerSlam, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. So let's just jump right into the video. But before I do, make sure to like and subscribe and turn the post notifications on so you never miss an upload. So in the first match, we had Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I really liked this match. It was really high-flying, hard and heavy moves and stuff like that. It really showed Bianca being really powerful. And Bianca ended up winning this match and retaining her Raw Women's Championship. And then after the match, Becky Lynch offered to shake Bianca's hand, which I thought was really interesting. And then after that, we had Bayley come back. It's been 1 year since we've seen Bayley, and she just came back at SummerSlam. And then also, who came back? Dakota Kai. So Dakota Kai and Bayley are just standing there, looking like they're about to enter the ring. And then Io Shirai gets called up from NXT. And she's siding with Bayley and Dakota now. But they changed Io Shirai's name to Io Sky, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. And then they just have the stare-off. Bianca, Bayley, Io, and Dakota. And Becky comes back and sides with Bianca. And then Bayley, Io, and Dakota just back away. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really good opener. I'd say it was a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now let's move on to the next match. In the next match, we do have Logan Paul versus The Miz. Now, I thought this was a really good match for Logan's second ever match and his first ever match under the WWE contract. Now, this match was just showing The Miz and Logan Paul doing these just moves that they taught. And then Logan doing some high-flying stuff, trying to make him look dominant. But definitely the highlight of the match was Logan Paul doing the frog splash to The Miz through the announcer's table. That got a really big pop. And then another thing that happened was AJ Styles coming out and just taking out Tommaso Ciampa, who came out with The Miz along with his wife, Maurice. But I thought that was a really cool moment. And then Logan Paul ended up winning the match with The Miz's skull-crushing finale. So I thought that was really good as well. Now, on to the next match. Oh, before that, Logan Paul ends up winning, like I mentioned. But I said that match was a solid 4 out of 5 stars. And in the next match is a match that I did not care for. It is Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I did not watch this match because I had no care in the world for it. The only thing that I remember happening was Austin Theory going for some move, and then Bobby Lashley catching him and putting him into the Hurt Lock, and then Austin Theory taps out and Bobby Lashley retains. I didn't watch the match, so I'm not going to give it a rating, but that's just me. Next match. Now, this match I was really excited for, but it turned out to be a really big letdown. It was the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day in a no disqualification match. The only really big thing that happened in the no disqualification aspect was that they used a chair that was used twice. But also Edge came back, so that was pretty big, and he came out in this dark and twisted and mysterious entrance. It reminded me of his old Brood entrance, if that makes sense. But I thought the match was a pretty big letdown, but that was the only reason there was a no disqualification match rule in it, because of Edge coming back. So I'd say this match is a solid 2 out of 5 stars. Next match. Now, in this next match, I thought was a really good match. You had Baron Corbin just showing his true skill and how he could be really dominant, but also Pat McAfee having this next step comeback to everything that Corbin did. I thought it was really cool to like see Pat McAfee doing all these crazy looking moves and being able to actually pull them off. At one point, he was going for this weird top rope swanton bomb, tope con hilo thingamajig to the outside onto Baron Corbin. But he slipped on the ropes a couple of times, so I thought that was funny. But also during Corbin's entrances, you heard like this choir just like singing what Pat McAfee calls Corbin. I'm not going to say it because it's not the greatest thing in the world, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. I thought this match was really entertaining. I'd say it was 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next match. Now, I really thought that this match was really good. It was the Usos versus the Street Profits for the Unified Tag Team Championships. That's a tongue twister. But I thought this match was really good with special guest referee of Jeff Jarrett because of the whole incident going on at Money in the Bank. I thought this match was really good. Jeff Jarrett showed that he's not going to show bias to anyone, even after the super kick that Jey Uso gave him on Friday on SmackDown. But there was a couple of points in the match where I thought the Street Profits were actually going to win. But it turns out that they didn't. The Usos always kept kicking out, which I thought was cool. But at some points, I thought Jeff Jarrett wasn't the best referee. I feel like he either sped up the count at some points or slowed it down. But, you know, it's whatever. But the Usos do win. I say that was a pretty good match. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Next match. Now, I thought this match was really weird. It was Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I did not like this match. You know, this match was pretty much just Ronda Rousey beating up Liv Morgan and then having some screw-up finish at the end. But it was not that entertaining to me, and I did not like it. Basically, what went down was Ronda just beating up Liv Morgan and eventually hurting her arm. Ronda hurt Liv's arm. And then doctors had to come out, but I'm pretty sure that was just like kayfabe. And then Ronda kept putting Liv in this like arm bar, but eventually Liv was able to get Ronda's shoulders on the mat, so the ref started counting. But Ronda still had the hold in. So at the 2 count, Liv started tapping, but the ref didn't see it. So Liv won the match, and understandably, Ronda was mad, but Ronda just started attacking Liv Morgan with a chair, which just shows how good of a heel Ronda is. So I really liked that part, but I did not really like the match. I'd say that was a good 2 stars, and that's being generous. But yeah, I just really did not like this match. But the next match, I did really like. You'll find out about that in a minute. This was the greatest main event in a pay-per-view match besides like WrestleMania and like Royal Rumbles, but like this was the greatest main event in a show I have ever seen. This match was electric, bro. So we had number 1, Brock Lesnar came out on a tractor. So that was really interesting and had like one of those scooper thingies. But that was just really interesting. And then he got on top of it and introduced himself. And then Roman just nonchalantly just caught Brock's mic when he threw it. So I thought that was funny. And then Roman just started going after Brock, but then Brock would always like overpower him. And then they ended up in the crowd. And then Brock was just beating up Roman, dude. It was brutal. And then they ended up back in like the barricaded section where Brock put Roman through a table, I'm pretty sure. Or no, Roman put Brock through a table, and then Roman put Brock through another table, and then Brock put Roman through part of a table. So it was interesting, but it was also really cool to like watch. And then just like it was brutal fighting, and just like they kept fighting and no stopping. And then Brock Lesnar just like kept throwing stairs at Roman. It was brutal. And then they end up back in the ring. Roman spears Brock a couple of times. Superman punches him a couple of times, but Brock always kept getting up. And then Brock laid out Roman in the ring. And then Brock Lesnar goes back on his tractor and then puts it like in the ring, and then puts Roman on top of like the scoop thingy, picks him up and dumps him back into the ring, which I thought that was really cool. I've never seen that before. And then Brock goes underneath the ring. He's still on the tractor. He takes like the scoop thingy, puts it underneath the ring, and pushes the ring and lifts it up. So Brock Lesnar just lifted up the ring with a tractor, which I thought that was insane. I have never seen anything similar to that before. I thought that was really cool. And then Austin Theory comes out and tries to cash in his Money in the Bank, but I believe it was Roman Reigns who took him out with his own briefcase. I could be wrong. It could have been Brock, but I know he got taken out with his own briefcase. And then Paul Heyman gets really mad at Brock for attacking Roman. So Paul hands Brock the championships to say, "You win, you won, congratulations." But Brock doesn't want to win that way, so he picks up Paul Heyman and hits him with the F5 through the announcer's table. And I jumped for that. I thought that was really cool. But then eventually Roman got the upper hand, knocked Lesnar down, and then they put him and the Usos came and put parts of the table just to like cover Brock. And then like they put stairs and chairs and toolboxes, and then Roman stood on him, and Roman won the match. Brock did not make it up after the 10 count, but I thought that match was stellar. I thought that was the greatest main event that I have ever watched in my 5 years of watching professional wrestling, apart from my favorite match of all time, or not of all time, my favorite match that I've seen. That being the 2018 Royal Rumble. I really love that match. But that was one of the greatest matches I have ever seen in my entire life. So that was my review of the show. I'd give that match a 4.5 out of 5 stars, hands down. But that was my review of the show. I really liked all the matches. Like and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss when I upload. Follow my TikTok at Wrestle_Central. Have a great day. Bye.